here, is there more of a chance? I mean, it felt like there was a lot of fight in the fourth quarter.
There was a lot of fight in the second half. I don't think it was a lack of fight. I think we got off to a slow start in the first half. And I think we played a better second quarter. We played a pretty good third quarter, and I thought we finished strong. I just think this is an opportunity for us to make a decision. That's what we just talked about, was us as a team collectively making a decision to not lose basketball games because of things we can control. And they had 21 offensive rebounds. We have 100% control over that. And we had 22 turnovers, and we have 100% control over that as well. So that's the area where we need to grow, because there's no reason you should lose a ball game when you shoot 50% and 39% from the three, and the opponent shoots 36 and 17. So we have to make that decision. And when we make that decision, I think you'll see a really pretty game of basketball. And hopefully we choose to make that decision sooner rather than later.
Olivia, what do you guys have to do to start faster in these games? I know that's probably a really simple question with a really hard answer. But.
Yeah, so I think just like Coach Mary talked about, we just have to do the little things better, like offensive rebounding, boxing out every time. Just like little things that seem like they should be a given, but we just, sometimes I feel like we slip up on them in the beginning, and that's how they get quick starts. So we just have to be better overall.
Jada, this is, obviously the most minutes you've had in the game. Just to be a part of that stretch in the third quarter, just how does it feel to be out there contributing 10, 12 minutes at a time?
It's nice to be back on the basketball court playing in games, but I think we just all need to come together and just play together and trust one another and stop looking to each other to make a move, and instead, making the move together and reading one another. Because when we run our offense the way we're supposed to run it, we score. We do things right, and we've seen it. She shows us the next day in practice, this works. Let's do this. So it's gonna click.
It will.
Mary, there was a timeout or two, or maybe more, where you were loud with the team, maybe imploring them to bring a little more toughness. You kept Jada out there. There were a lot of elbows flying. There was a lot of players. She played a physical game. Is that what you want to see from her?
Yeah, Jada's a very physical player. I think the other thing that Jada does really well is she just plays as a team. Like, she sets great screens, she plays defense, she boxes out, she rebounds. Like, she does all those little things. And I think that's what this team has to understand, is that there are times and nights where people are going to have really great scoring nights, but every single night we need to do those little things. Like, we have to be great screeners, we have to be great defenders, we have to be great rebounders, we have to be good team defensive people, understanding how we're collectively trying to guard, talking and communicating. And, I think she's proven, and she has made me feel very comfortable that when she goes out there, she's going to talk, she's going to set great screens, and she's going to do what's best for this team. And so it's really easy to put her out there right now.
Olivia had 1 3-point attempt in the first half. Before the second half, they all those scored. Western Michigan hasn't allowed a ton of 3-point shots against them in general all season. Was it something you were seeing out there in the first half that you weren't able to get a ton of looks at you guys playing?
Yeah, I think that, so our game plan was to drive and then look for the loop, and that once we started doing that in the second half, I think that opened up the shots more than in the first half. And that was our game plan, and that's one of the parts where we just have to do that earlier, and that's one of those focus pieces for us where it's on the game plan, we know it's going to work, we just have to implement it and not wait too long.
Mary, I imagine you came in expecting to shoot lower 3-point. Just given the way that they play a little bit.
Yeah, they really fly at you. So I knew they were going to send multiple people to help. I thought we would get threes. I thought it would be after one drive, if not multiple drives, how they came basically tonight. We just have to be. There are teams that I think they do a very good job of flying to help, and they do a great job of flying out of help and trying to force that second drive. And again, us being able to get into our action quick enough that we can get multiple drives in a possession against a team like that. And we'll see teams like that. There are going to be teams that implement that strategy. And I think for the most part, we did a decent job executing against it for the majority of the game once we got through that first quarter. That first quarter, we were just kind of, it seemed like we were a little confused. So I obviously need to do a better job making sure we're not confused to start a game.
Felt like maybe the most aggressive Elise has been offensively. Well, what did you see from her tonight?
I thought she was looking to attack. The ball was coming to her. She wasn't settling to shoot contested threes. She was continuing to attack the basket. I talked to her after the first quarter. I thought she passed up a couple opportunities to finish at the rim. So we talked. I asked if she felt like she was open. She said she was. I said, well, then finish them. And I think that's kind of our next growth spot. I think when we go back and rewatch this film, we're going to see second and third drives where they were coming to help, but they were late and in that restricted arc. And at that point, we've got to sacrifice our bodies and just run through people. And if they call charges, let me act like an idiot and review it.
You have a very unique schedule coming up, right? You don't play for 15 days or something like that?
Yeah,
And
finals, school.
Then you don't play at home for a month? Just what, obviously school, but what are you looking for in these 15 days and the time after that when you're not here?
Yeah, I think the 15 days is going to be really good for us. I think it's going to allow us to get back to some basics and practice and really focus on some things, execution offensively. I think it'll give us some time to continue to work on our team defense. It's going to give us some time to continue to talk about our zone defense, so when we need to use that, we can. You know, I think being on the road, we didn't plan to be on the road the first, what is it? I think we have, I'm trying to think, 3 of our first 5 conference games are on the road or something like that. Like that, I have nothing to do with that. So, you know, we weren't planning on making this an extended trip away from home. But I think being on the road is a great opportunity to spend time together, to grow closer as a team. It's something we haven't done, it feels like forever since we've been on the road together. So I'm looking forward to getting out on the road and getting to have meals together. Hopefully we can plan some fun things. I've got some ideas already that we've been talking about, some little things that we can do to just spend some intentional time together. And I think sometimes being on the road, it's easier actually to play on the road because you have a specific routine. You don't have as many distractions as you have at home when your family and friends are, you know, pulling you in different directions. You don't have class, right? You get to actually like sleep and then like study when you want to, and you don't have to like be up running around. So I think there's some benefits to being on the road, and I look forward to this time of year when finals are over and we can really just focus on basketball and spending really good time together. So I hope they're as excited as I am for this little trip.
And Olivia and Jada, just again, a long break of competition, right? Just how will you use these next 2 weeks?
You got it first.
Well, I'll be happy once first semester of nursing school is out of the way. But like, just focusing, getting back in the gym more. I mean, our whole team was getting 1,000 made threes, over half of us were. And so, like, we just getting in the gym more, putting all of our attention on basketball, which will be nice. And to be putting all of our attention on each other, building a relationship with one another, improving that. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity for all of us to get closer.
Yeah, like Jada said, this year, me and Jada have been talking about doing different